Hello, everyone. Just a moment. So, I hope you can see me and hope you can hear me. Hello, everyone. I am Erika of Beadingschool.com, and you are watching No One Has to Bead Alone, my weekly open workshop, beading workshop on Facebook, where everyone from all around the world can join and enjoy and read together the same jewel. And then it's super exciting and inspiring to see what we all come up with all the different versions and different colors. And I see friendly faces: Marianske, Katie, Tinkerbell, Sarah, Veronka is here. Cheryl said hi. She has an older program today, but she came to say hi to us. Hi, Cheryl, and enjoy your evening. And Eleanor is here, and Katie says she can hear me. That's wonderful. Thank you. I forgot to set my microphone before I started, so I had to change to my good one, nice one, when I was already online. And Chloe is here. Chloe doesn't have to work today. Usually she can't make it in real life, but she watches on YouTube afterward. And Annie is here, and Gunel is here, and Brit Marie, and Faye woke up on time, and Maria, and Anne. Hello, ladies. So, and Belinda, and Kirsten, and Mary, and Natalie is having coffee. I just finished my coffee too. I had a super nice one with ice cream, with chocolate and cookie dough ice cream. You could see it in the club. I posted this as my preparation for No One Has to Bead Alone. And Connie, and Marielle, and Anita, and Tanya, and Vania, and Cora is here again. Cora needs coffee. Always perfect timing for coffee. Alicia, Kata, Corinne. Oh. Ria, Diana, Liv. Oh my God, ladies, so many of us together today. Wonderful, from all different countries. Kiki is here. Kiki's on vacation. Enjoy Greece. So today we are going to work on the Rococo Lily earring. And it's a super cute, super small motif, but it has many possibilities as always. And I tell you a secret, and I have to grab this one. So I know that some of you are really looking forward to bead with me the flamboyant motif that we are going to work on in 3 weeks, I think. I have some plans and I have to check them. So these are the earrings, and the Rococo Lily is in fact a preparation for this big one because the middle is the same. So when we bead this big one with the filigree, you can make it as a pendant, and the Rococo Lily can be like a matching smaller earring, for example, or 2 completely different sets. I will also have 2 completely different sets of jewels, so that's up to you. So what is Rococo? First, I would like to say a few words about the name of this little motif. So Rococo is an artistic style born in Europe. It's also called late Baroque, and it was popular in the 18th century. And the name Rococo, it comes from rocaille as the shell, and it was a type of decoration that was very popular, that super decorative, with all kinds of wavy lines, and it was very dramatic and very theatrical. And later, that style, that also emerged in Turkey, in Istanbul, and this is an example, this well, it's a well actually. It is a beautiful example of the Turkish Rococo style. Turkey was well, Istanbul was and is always on the edge of like, am I Europe? Am I Asia? So that time when Rococo was popular in Europe, then Ahmed III, the Turkish Sultan, he really wanted to look more European. So that's why he kind of like focused on bringing European style architecture also to Istanbul. And then it got mixed with the Oriental, with the traditional Turkish architecture and Turkish details. And this is one example. And that's kind of what inspired me when putting together the Rococo Lily motif. And if you look closer, then there is actually a beaded motif attached to the fence of the well, and that is my Istanbul pendant that I left in Istanbul that time as my special thank you to the city for all the awesome memories that I had there. And in the middle there is, by the way, in the middle of that Istanbul pendant, there is an 𝐂𝐻𝐄 Studio cabochon, an art cabochon that is this week with all the different styles. They are 12% off, and you even get some extra crystal cabochons as gifts with them if you order some. So about Rococo. And yeah, let's look at the motif and what do we need for it. And in the meanwhile, Diana joined us, and Lutka joined us, Margaret, Teresa, Georgie. Katy says she loves the big version of the earring. And Donna is here. Wonderful. Natalie and Faye like the Istanbul pendant. So, what do we need for today's Rococo Lily motif? If we start in the middle, I will also share now my bead mat. I need a bit more light. So, we will need, if we start in the middle, we will need, the base is made from 6 pieces of GEMDUO beads. And then on top of it, if you like it, then you can attach a Preciosa 4mm or SS16 rhinestone, 𝐂1 rhinestone. By the way, the GEMDUOs that I have used, that they are powdery pink, if you would like to have the same. And the rhinestone that I am using, it's ruby in a golden metal setting. The 𝐂1 rhinestone is basically a Preciosa crystal, which is set in a metal setting with 2 holes on its backside. And the 2 holes run in a cross shape. So it is super easy and nice to attach it to all kinds of structures. So, and then I have some Preciosa 4mm BICONE beads, and I have to be super careful because I have the last 6 pieces from my chrysolite 2xAB, so I can't drop any of these. I need precisely 6 pieces to finish my motif, so please keep me fingers crossed that I don't drop any of these BICONE beads. Does it, by the way, happen to you too, that you know that you have to be like extra careful because you have just the exact number of beads that you are going to need, or is it just me that I am like running out of one of my favorite colors? How can that happen? And then I have bugle beads, which I previously used to pronounce as bugle beads, but I learned, thanks to you, that they are bugle beads. And this is one of my favorite colors. It's like golden and purple in one. It's the 462, if you would like to use the same. It's shiny and it goes well with many different shades, but especially I like how it emphasizes the ruby color in the middle. And then you will also need some size 15 round seed beads. I use the matte nickel plated 190F, the code, and then some DELICA beads, DELICA size 11s on the edges. And for that, I have this matte mint color. It's number 1496. And Kata says it happened to her too, happened to me last time with seed beads for Frida. I don't wonder, Kata, that you nearly ran out of beads for your Frida set. Have you seen, ladies, Kata's fiery, sunshiny Frida set? It's beautiful. It's a bracelet and earrings and necklace. And Kata, how many motifs did you bead from Frida to complete that beautiful set? Also in combination with cabochons. And Nicolene is here too. Nicolene, I see your name, by the way. It's working now. And Sarah also loves the color of the bugle beads. And hi, Claire. Bad timing for a tea. Very, very bad timing for a tea. And Sarah says, Kata is insane. And Faye says, Kata's set is absolutely gorgeous. Sarah also said, by the way, that it's beautiful, but also said that Kata is insane. And 24 or 26 motifs in that beautiful set. So, besides the beads, what I used to really like give character to this small motif, because like the motif itself, you can bead it in 5 minutes, what we are working on today. But if you combine it with all kinds of components, or if you combine more motifs into a necklace, for example, or by just choosing an interesting earring hook, even a small motif, it can become something special, as you can see. And here, what I have added a baroque rhombus shaped crystal connector. It's out of stock at the moment. I'm sorry, ladies, but please mark the waiting list, and then you will get a notification when it's back in stock if you would like to have one like this. So I used a light blue colored baroque rhombus crystal connector, and I combined it with the CALA Lily earring hook. I know that some of you were a bit like, oh my God, how to attach something to this? This was part of the Bloom box, the second thematical component box. And it looks great if you attach to it something that has like a narrower end. So then using, for example, a small jump ring, you can attach it into this little loop that's inside of the earring hook, and then you can continue with a beaded motif, for example. But it would also be possible, actually, to attach the beaded motif right away to this earring hook. Oh, and at the back, I have a filigree. It's the Rosetta filigree, and it's available in all 6 colors, if I remember well, at least 4, but I think all 6 actually. And I glued it on the back of the motif. And let's start beading. Enough talking from Erika, right? And Corinne says, and she's so right, after what Sarah makes, she can't say anything about Kata. Indeed. Do you ladies remember Sarah's bracelet for the Preciosa competition? All the bezeled cabochons? How many? How many cabochons did you bezel, Sarah? Confess. Time for confession. And hi, Sharon. And then we have a Facebook friend traveling. I don't see your name, but safe travels. And let's start beading. So I will hide now the picture. Here is my bead mat, and let's look also at the illustrations. The filigree, Vanya wants to know what kind of filigree. It's the rosette. If you navigate to the product page, then there will be a link to all of the rosettes, all of the colors. And Sarah also used 27. Kata made 24 or 26 Frida motifs, and Sarah bezeled 27 cabochons. Both of you are insane. So let's start. I have my usual 0.12 millimeter FIRELINE or 4LB, and I will leave a 5-6 inches tail, and I will secure it later. I start by picking up 6 pieces of GEMDUOs, and I always like to make sure that the second hole of the GEMDUOs is also open, because sometimes it happens that a little piece of glass stays in the second hole, and it is a nasty surprise if you discover it later. So I pick up 6 pieces of the GEMDUOs, and then I bead through the same hole of all the 6 GEMDUOs one more time to join them into a circle. So when I pull my thread, and I bead also through the very first one for a third time, so when I pull my thread, then the 6 GEMDUOs form a little circle. And by the way, someone, I don't see your name, but that's a good reminder that Sarah wasn't even last minute with her competition piece. She was submitting it pretty early, even if she bezeled an insane amount of cabochons. So, and now I will attach the rhinestone in the middle. And usually, as the rhinestone has 2 holes in a cross shape, then usually I attach the rhinestone through both of the holes. However, when I attach the rhinestone in the middle of this, then since the 2 holes run in a 90-degree angle, then I can't really bead through. I can bead through the second hole, but then I can't fix it in a nice way. So this time I am attaching the rhinestone only through one hole. So exiting the inside hole of a GEMDUO, I pick up the rhinestone, and then I bead through the inside hole of the GEMDUO opposite of the one that I was exiting before picking up the rhinestone. And I arrange my beads, and actually it is enough. I keep good thread tension, but it is enough for that single rhinestone to stay securely where I want it to stay. So don't worry about that. And that's already 2 steps, and we have just 4 steps. By the way, tutorial is available at no one has to bead alone.com. Adam set up this easy page, so you don't have to remember any slashes and dots and whatever. It's just simply no-one-has-to-bead-alone.com, so you can navigate there and you can download the printable file to make it easier for you to follow the workshop today. And make sure to save it to your computer, please. And because the download link, if you opt for the Me Supporting You version, then the download link expires after 3 days. Even if you have it between your emails, then it expires. You need to save the tutorial to your computer. So back to beading. At the end of step 2, I bead through the open hole, the second hole of the GEMDUO that I am exiting after attaching the rhinestone. And in step 3, I will add combinations, groups of round 15, 4mm BICONE bead, round 15, between the second holes of the GEMDUO beads, and then I continue until I will be exiting the second new group of beads. And since I will be now just repeating this one single step, now it's time for me to get to know what are you beading today. So please let me know in a comment and let each other know. What are you working on today? What will your Rococo Lily become? What kind of colors are you using? And will it be an earring, a pendant, a necklace? Maybe you are working on something else and joining for the company. Let us know. I'm curious. Round 15, BICONE bead, round 15, and then I go through the open hole. And again, round 15, BICONE bead, round 15, and I go through the open hole of the GEMDUO. And Chloe says, all the earrings for now, I don't have enough 4mm beads. Earrings are also super nice from this, I think. Mariella works with black and she will make earrings. And Vanya, working and listening to you. Thanks for joining us even while working, Vanya. And Connie says, I am working on the Frida combination Elena made. Yes, indeed, that was another amazing fiery Frida on fire. Elena made a beautiful medallion combining several Frida motifs and bezeled, peyote bezeled cabochons. Girls were on fire last week. Faye is watching. She says, I will make some when I get up in the morning. Love the colors you have chosen. Thank you, Faye. And for those of you who don't know Faye yet, Faye is a regular beader and very, very kind fellow club member. And she lives in New Zealand and she gets up in the middle of the night to be with us and bead with us. We should all send Faye a bag of coffee to fuel her while beading with us. And Tanya says, using brown and blue. Aim is to have a pair of earrings, but I have no fitting filigree, so I hope they are sturdy enough without the filigree. For the earrings, they will be enough, Tanya. For a necklace, I would use a filigree, but for earrings, they will be fine. Vanya is working on the beautiful kilt that she showed us earlier this week. Corinne doesn't know yet that what is she making. That happens to me often too. Annie is working too, but listening. And Kathy is making earrings on a filigree. She's using the star flower instead of the rosette. That's also a beautiful match, I think, Katie. I'm curious, how will it look like at the end? Martina says, hi Martina, I am sitting on my balcony enjoying the evening sun, watching you for the company. Thank you for being with us, Martina. And Eleanor said, oh, Britt Marie has a good question. What kind of glue do you use? I have always 2 glues nearby, and when I want something to like really be glued on and stay where it is supposed to stay, then I use 𝐂𝐋𝐈𝐂𝐂𝐓. Looking for it, I have a small package somewhere. So then I use 𝐂𝐋𝐈𝐂𝐂𝐓 when it's like it really needs to be a strong connection. And when I am gluing, for example, the foundation on the back, the backing on the bead embroidery, so then later it's also connected with stitches, so the glue doesn't need to hold the pieces together. Then I use an ordinary glue from the like household shop, so I don't like to waste my 𝐂𝐋𝐈𝐂𝐂𝐓. But for this, 𝐂𝐋𝐈𝐂𝐂𝐓, definitely. If I can, then I actually sew on the filigree on the beaded motif instead of gluing, but this time I was gluing it on. And Natalie, I hope that helps, Britt Marie. And Natalie says, I like to make these designs in a variety of colors to see what I like best. Today, dark olive GEMDUOs, champagne gold bugles with a hot pink DELICA. That sounds great, Natalie. I really hope that you will show us what you make. And Kirsten is using pastel pink and blue zircon today. Blue zircon is beautiful, beautiful. It's one of my favorites. And Anita, oh, Metals Green GEMDUO. Metalist colors are wonderful, I think. Donna is watching. Sarah says, I am working on another project, trying to get through my long list of projects. I'm using the beautiful 4mm PRECIOSA faceted round crystal deep tanzanite AB. So beautiful. They were in some of the boxes. I think they were in the romantic or the rainbow box. I also have them and I just used them recently. A really great color. I think 𝐻𝐸𝐂𝐄 also likes the deep tanzanite very much, right? 𝐻𝐸𝐂𝐄𝐄. Nicolene is using some copper and turquoise pendants, still collecting the beads. That will look beautiful, Nicolene. Turquoise is always great. And Sharon, let's see what Sharon is working on. Oh, thank you. She says, love the colors you are using. Just ordered some GEMDUOs from your site and somehow missed this pretty pink. Thank you so much for your order, Sharon. Thank you. They are called Powdery Pink and they are available as GEMDUOs. They are available as fire polished beads and also as round pearls. And I really like all the powdery line. There are many different beads from the powdery variations, and the colors are like very resistant and they are nice to combine. These are also super nice ones, for example. And the powdery pastel gray. That's one of my favorite neutrals lately. So yeah, but what I wanted to just say, yeah, color, powdery. I love all the powdery ones. Look out for those. And Sarah says, Lily is in Swedish called Lilia, my last name. You have a beautiful last name, Sarah. And Anne says, mine will probably become a pair of earrings. These are really fitting as earrings, I think. And Natalie, oh, she also has crystal with light BICONE beads. Maria is watching today, and Belinda is making earrings with gold splash GEMDUOs, and Fairy Dot Rhinestone, Luminous Green Delica, Light Taupe BICONE, taupe, that's again a word that I don't know how to pronounce, I'm so sorry. Taupe, taupe, taupe. So taupe BICONE beads, gold 15s and bronze bugle beads. And that will also be really nice, Belinda. The gold splash GEMDUOs are really nice. And Mary, after I finish my pair of earrings, I will work on a chenille stitch necklace for a pendant I have. Chenille is fun. And Marianske says, yes, totally in love with the deep Tanzanite AB. Tanzanite. And Sharon is asking if she can add it to her order. If you check your order status, if you log in, and then you go to my account and orders, then you see if your order is still like in processing mode, and if yes, then you can add and you can save on shipping. And I can tell you for sure that the order is not processed yet because it's Friday afternoon here or on our side of the globe. So if you placed it recently, then the ladies did not have time yet to process it. So you still have the possibility to add something to it if you would like to. And Facebook friend with earrings. And Brit Marie, I use luster green 𝐂𝐋𝐈𝐂𝐄, sunflower 2x AB, bronze bugle, yellow delica, and bronze seed beads. The sunflower with the luster green sounds really exciting, Brit Marie. And Tanya, I just finished my first motif, and it is indeed sturdy enough for earrings. Thank you for letting us know, Tanya. Do you also have the findings attached? Oh, and one of our friends, I'm sorry, I don't see your name. She says, I received a couple cabochons yesterday, and I am excited to work on shooting stuff. Katja, is that you? If someone is making like a gazillion shooting stars, then it's Katja. But in fact, there are several bidders, including me, addicted to shooting stars. So it can be anyone, but my best guess is Katja. So, and I have finished adding the beads around the motif between the outside holes of the GEMDUOs. I managed not to drop any of the PRECIOSA BICONE beads. Now all 6 of them are secured, so I can calm down, I can continue beading. And now I am starting out from around 15 seed bead that is in front of a BICONE bead. And then I pick up a bugle bead, I pick up a delica, and another bugle bead. And I skip the BICONE, I bead through the round 15, the GEMDUO, and the next round 15. And you know, like, you actually have 2 different possibilities to shape the petals of the flower, or the, if we call it a star, then the points of the star. You can push in the DELICA bead between the two bugle beads, and then actually it's easy to join the motifs to each other, and it will become like less pointy. Or you can also pull out the DELICA bead, how I did it, and then the two ends of the bugles will touch each other, and then the petals of the flower or the points of the star will be pointy. So those are two different possibilities, and it depends on how you imagine your finished jewel, that what fits the style more. But it's just good to know that even with a small motif you can make different variations. It's not Katja. I'm curious. I'm curious. Ginny! Ginny is making shooting stars! This broadcasting program is tricky because if you are watching from the club, then I don't automatically see your name. I hope you will have lots of fun with the shooting stars, Ginny. Enjoy them very much. And Tanya is busy with the earring hook. And she says, not sure now if I would add something underneath the star. I already like it as it is now. Even more possibilities, with or without something extra. And Kata matches her colors to the Rococo era. She says, I use pastel colors since Rococo era had those tones. Good choice, Kata. Earrings also, by the way, or a whole set out of 50 stars. And Ginny already made a shooting star in the past, but now she's making more. And she says that she loved how it came together. So I am adding the bugle beads all around the motif. Adding the third one, and Annie says, I also ordered the shooting star kit today. I can't wait. Thank you so much for your order, Annie, and you will have fun with it. It's, you know, why I like and why I recommend beading the shooting star. This is it, by the way, for those of you who don't know it yet. Because, well, it's one thing that I think it's pretty, but also this is a jewel that I beaded like 5 times before I would draw the pattern and before I would show it to you. And all those 5 times I was really conscious about the thread passes and trying to come up with an interesting and easy thread pass to achieve this effect. And I think that by beading this, it's also technically interesting how the bezel is made and how you connect the half tillas and bugles and everything. So also from a technical viewpoint, that you can learn, not only do you make a pretty new necklace, but it is like training your brain to think in a little bit different way. So have fun with it when you receive it, Annie. And Kata doesn't know yet that what is she making, but she has 3 colors already. Kata, I love it how creative you are with colors. Kata usually makes a motif not only in one, but several different color combinations. And then the color combinations, they all come out different. And even beaded by the same person and using the same motif, the outcome can be totally different. The outcomes can be totally different from one another. And I think that that's the best part of the weekend, to see all the different combinations and variations that you come up with, to see how how many variations are possible. Honey also has a shooting star addiction. And Kirsten, she made 2 of them. And Martina says, me too, I ordered my second shooting star kit today as the fuchsia color is back, and that was on my must-have list. Then I'm really happy, Martina, that we could make you happy with it. It was a kit that was, I can say that this is the one that was like absolutely the most popular between you ladies. And I know that many of you, we have the wish list, and we check always that what are the things that many of you are waiting for. So those are the highest priority to get back in stock, to work on it, to put it together for you. So that's also not only because you get a notification when it's back in stock, but that's also one of the reasons why it's good to put something on your wish list, because then we know that, yeah, we really need to work on it and get it again. Okay, Kata says, I am not creative but cannot make a decision. I see. Well, you end up with like a bunch of nice jewels anyway, so whatever the reason for all the different combinations, it's great. And Vania says, Vania won one of the prizes in the bead embroidery category in the competition, and she says, I think one of the caps from the winners won for the shooting star. It should be the middle round, the one called middle round. And Teresa says, I love shooting star. It's a bit wonky for a good portion of the way, but when it's all pulled together, boom. Exactly. Yeah, when you add the rhinestones at the end, that's when like it all comes together, and then it is like super sturdy, and then you see like, oh my god, even if it's a handmade cap, then it's so precise and it's just perfect. And like usually handmade caps are great for like bead embroidery, because then it doesn't matter if they are like a little bit smaller, a little bit bigger, and they have to be like really like kind of engineered, so you are able to use it for a bead woven motif. And these are great. These are perfect for it. Claire will also make 2 shooting stars. Okay, the shooting star addiction is big in the group, I can say. And we don't even have Katja and Susie here today, who are, I think, the biggest shooting star addicts of us all. I think Katja is at number 7, and Susie, I don't know. I don't even want to count how many different ones she made. And ladies, I finished adding my petals of the flower, and I will now add the crystal connector. And I started to do, usually I don't attach on screen the findings, because that's different for all of us. I plan to do like a separate video when I show you all kinds of different like finishing possibilities, but I want to show you how I do the loops recently. I made a little change in how I do the loops out of size 15 seed beads recently, and I find that this little tiny trick makes them look nicer, and I want to share it with you today, if you don't mind. So yeah, the difference is that it looks then as a little teardrop or raindrop, a reversed teardrop or raindrop, instead of like a circle. So I will show you how do I do that. Here is my crystal connector. So I start by picking up 3 pieces of round 15 seed beads. Then I bead through the loop of the crystal connector. I pick up 3 more of the round 15 seed beads, and I bead through the DELICA bead that I was exiting before picking up the new ones. Now I repeat the thread path. I just bead through everything one more time. So 3 rounds 15 seed beads, then connector, and 3 more round 15 seed beads. And now comes my tiny trick. So before I would go into the DELICA and then I would continue into the bugle bead. But what I do nowadays is that I skip the DELICA and I go around only through the seed beads, but I skip the last seed bead. So I skipped the DELICA, I go through 2 seed beads, I bead directly into the loop of the crystal connector. So then this brings the whole loop closer to the crystal connector, and it doesn't happen to me that they are kind of like hanging under the loop. Then here I skip the first seed bead and I bead only through the second and the third one from the group. And then I continue to the DELICA and the bugle bead, and then I can secure my thread. And I find that it makes the loop just a little bit different and a little bit more elegant. So I hope that this is helpful to you. And I finished my motif in record time, I think. I hope that you liked it. If you have any questions, then please let me know. And next week, it's actually the last week of the summer. And that means that next week, we are meeting for the summer spirit party with everyone who got the summer spirit box. So instead of No One Has to Bead Alone, I will send you all a Zoom link a day or two before Friday, and we will meet at the same time as No One Has to Bead Alone, but through Zoom. So we will actually be able to see each other and chat and talk, and I'm really looking forward. I will bring my beloved non-alcoholic rosé Prosecco that was kind of the inspiration behind the summer spirit box. And you can also like bring something refreshing as you like, bring good mood, bring your pieces where you've used components from the summer spirit box so we can show each other that how did we use them. I think it will be really inspiring and really nice to share or the results of our creativity. And then in 2 weeks, we will, sorry, dropping beads. In 2 weeks, we will meet for a new motif. Kata, this is the one we were chatting with Kata a couple of days ago in the evening. I told her like I am beading, of course, and I wanted to design something for a new No One Has to Bead Alone class. And then I told Kata, like, Kata, it's horrible. I will cut it apart, but I will do it tomorrow. And you know what, Kata? Not even the day after, but like half an hour later, I decided to add a bezeled chaton, and this is the result, and I think it's good, and this is what we are going to bead in 2 weeks from today. So you will need GEMDUOs, super duos, and then size 11 DELICA beads in different colors if you wish, size 15 seed beads. Again, if you want, you can add a bezeled cabochon, but you can also make bracelets, pendants, whatever you like. So this is coming. Next week is Summer Spirit Party, 2 weeks from today. The new motif that I didn't like first, but now I'm happy with it. And after that week, we are going to bead together the flamboyant motif that Tanya is looking forward to. So if you want to bead the big one, then you can add the charm filigree to it. So there is still plenty of time for it to come if you would like to make one like this. Here I used the gray color, and then since then I also beaded one with the peacock green, and this was also included in the Summer Spirit box, this exact same color. So ladies, thank you so much for today. Oh, Katie will be maybe tired because she starts to teach again. Well, all the best to you for the new school year, Katie, and I hope that you can stay and teach in person as long as possible, as much as possible. And I hope that we will still see you in real time too, not only after the broadcast. And Tanya, yeah, GEMDUOs. Hi, Christina. And oh, Geddy says, but for the flamboyant, I will definitely be there. And hi, Martina. Have a nice weekend. And bye, Faye and Teresa. Tanya says her colored filigrees just arrived. Wonderful. Claire likes the earrings. Thank you for spending the time with me, everyone, and time together, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye, Kata. Bye, Maria. Bye, everyone. Thank you very much for joining me. Keep posting your creations in the Beading School Club. Also, if you if you share your jewels on your own profiles, then mark them with the No One Has to Bead Alone hashtag so we can look them all up and see what you have created. And see you next week. And don't forget about the L2 Studio sale that goes on until Tuesday. Thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful weekend. Take care.